were arrested, including 3 members of the opposition Yabloko party. Yabloko's leader was barred from running in presidential elections. The party accuses Putin of stunting Russia's political and economic development. And Russian courts have been quick to punish those caught up in the protests. One organizer was jailed for 10 days last week, fueling anger over what Putin's critics say is a judicial system rife with corruption. From Moscow, Charles Stratford has more.
They call for the release of a man they say is a political prisoner. They hold blank sheets of paper in the air because to hold banners would be to risk arrest. But their demand for justice and rule of law remains the same.
It's gatherings like these in central Moscow which rights organisations say draws attention to the complete lack of independence of the judicial system. They say it is both corrupt and vulnerable to pressure from big business and the government.
Businessman Alexei Kozlov was last week sentenced to 5 years in jail for fraud. The Supreme Court threw out his original 8-year sentence in September, but a retrial was ordered soon after. His supporters say the ruling was designed to put pressure on his wife, a vocal opposition activist and campaigner for judicial reform.
In January, the judges told me, "Stop, what are you doing? Your husband will get 5 years if you continue." They even showed me the sentence. I was directly threatened with every step my husband and I made.
There have, of course, been other high-profile cases. Former oil tycoon Mikhail Khodorkovsky was jailed in 2005 for tax fraud. His term was extended in 2010 when a court found him guilty of money laundering. His supporters say he was jailed because of his political ambitions. Then there's the lawyer Sergei Magnitsky, who was arrested after alleging tax fraud sanctioned by officials. He died in police custody. His testimony implicated the judiciary and the Russian mafia.
The most dangerous and the most difficult to tackle is a problem of corruption in the whole system of rule of law, including law enforcement, prosecution and courts.
Putin has described corruption in Russia as systemic. He has pointed fingers at the authorities. He has pledged to make serious reforms, including setting up special courts to hear disputes between the authorities and individuals, and ending what he describes as the punitive trend in the Russian judicial system. Outgoing President Medvedev has ordered a probe into the legality of verdicts of 32 prisoners, including Mikhail Khodorkovsky. But rights groups say there is widespread fear of the legal system.
Many people are saying, well, I'm doing fine. I'm making enough money to support my family. I'm making enough money to put bread on the table. But if something happens, if God forbid I get in trouble with police, I'll be thrown behind the bars and I'll be tortured. And no one, no court in this country will help me because there is no independent judiciary. So the society actually craves independent judiciary, and this is something that the Kremlin should deliver.
Putin has made his promises, but many doubt he can deliver quickly when the legal system, according to experts, is so affected by the interests of those with courtroom power. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Moscow.